MatPat's secret global gamer. Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video I'll be reacting to one of the early uploads from the YouTube channel The Theorists. I'm a huge fan of their work and I hope that you would like this video as well. This video came out in the year 2017, so I think it's around 4 years ago. Let's start.
Oh my gosh, Japan is crazy!
Oh, this is MatPat. Oh my god, you look so young.
Hello internet and welcome to a new project on the channel I'm calling The Global Gamer. So I have this theory that what we play and how we play it is directly tied to our cultural backgrounds. And at a time when the world is becoming more and more scared of other cultures, I figured now it was more important than ever to learn about the world and the people around us through this common language we call gaming.
I love it when you say through this common language that we call gaming.
So you ready to take a journey? Let's do it. This is a 360-degree video, so if you're on your phone, look around.
I'm so sorry that I'm watching it 2D instead of 360, so yep.
There's stuff going on behind you. If you're on a computer, click and drag your mouse. We shot this in 360 so that you could visit all these locations right alongside me. So go ahead, have fun. See what little Easter eggs you can find. So for the first ever episode, I figured what better place to start than the birthplace of gaming, Tokyo, Japan. It's my goal to uncover the secrets behind their insatiable appetite for arcades. Because if you think that you've seen arcades before, you have never seen a gaming culture as intense and dedicated as this one.
Wow.
I'm talking multi-story havens to all things gaming.
I'm so sort of jealous that she's able to take a flight without wearing mask. Yeah, without social distancing and so on and so forth, without quarantine or punishing, because just saying, 2021 is still affected by what happened in 2020. So yeah.
Floor is packed with everything from classic arcade favorites to the latest 4D experiences. But the king of them all is the rhythm game. In the US, we're most familiar with games like Dance Dance Revolution and Guitar Hero. But there, precision rhythm games are a way of life. These are arcade skills that take months to years to perfect.
Yes, a lot of different rhythm games. I like it. There's professionals with gloves on, you know.
But the mystery I wanted to solve with this trip is why? Why is the arcade scene so strong in Japan of all places? And why these rhythm games in particular? So to answer that question, I'm spending 2 packed days in Tokyo.
Oh, I don't think two days is enough. Maybe we can try finding Gaijin Goomba. Yeah. Go check that out though.
Day 1, we're exploring traditional Japan to figure out the roots of the culture. Then on day 2, we're jumping into modern Japan to figure out how that culture has made this small island nation into the king of arcades it is today. But enough talking, let's explore. Now when you think of Japan, what comes to mind? Well, for me, I think pagodas and Shinto shrines. So stop number 1 as soon as we landed was the oldest temple in Tokyo.
This is just me, or the first thing that comes to mind in from my experience of Japan is the solo backpacking trip, south to north, that one. For me, of course lah.
Sensoji, dating back to, get this, the year 645. But what does a 1300-year-old Buddhist temple have to do with gaming? In all honesty, I wasn't sure, but I was determined to try and find out. I met up with Irene Herrera, my cultural expert, to explain a little bit about what I was seeing.
Hi Irene. Irina. Irene?
Well, you know, Matt, there's over 30 million people that come to visit this shrine from Japan and all over the world, so obviously it's going to be always very crowded.
Not always crowded, just saying. 2020. Yeah. Even 2021.
Obviously all of them are like, what is this weird UFO thing in the middle of our photograph?
So here we have, these are actually sort of demons deities, right?
Oh, really?
So we
Okay.
have Fujin and we have Raijin.
Okay.
So it is wind and thunder.
Okay.
And so basically, a lot of these gates, we'll see them also in the Shinto tradition. The gates that separate the human world from the spiritual world. So once we enter the gate, we're entering into the spiritual realm.
Huh, that's actually really fascinating because
I really like it that they make it a 360 video so that we are able to see everything that's around. It's awesome. Just.
in my favorite game of all time, which you probably don't care about nor have heard of, but Earthbound. Actually, there's a boss called Thunder and Storm, which seems like it would tie into these two gods, and they are actually serving as gateway keepers into a spiritual realm that allows you to kind of access your inner power in the game. So this almost seems like a kind of where that inspiration came from in the first place.
Yeah, very precise. That's exactly what it is.
Fascinating.
Score one for gaming. Without even entering the temple, we were already seeing the influence of Buddhist culture on gaming. But as we began to weave through the packed marketplace leading to the temple, passing everything from chopstick vendors to people selling Joker masks, we ended
You know the Obasan is like, what is this UFO thingy? It's like, it's a camera.
up talking more and more about ways that religion has influenced the games that we play.
A lot of video games have kind of been made in Japan. You see a lot of different symbolism in those games, right? So like one of the most iconic ones is like the Tanuki suit from Super Mario Brothers 3, right? What is that? What is it? What is a Tanuki? And what does it mean? Why would it be used in a game like that?
Right, so Tanuki's a real life animal. It's basically a Japanese raccoon.
Okay.
But then it took on this whole folk meaning to it.
Sure.
And there's many characteristics that are attributed to Tanuki. And some of these are, for example, he's a shapeshifter.
Okay.
He's an animal that lives in the forest.
And if you wear the suit, you can make Mario fly. Just saying. Just saying, it happens in the game, so.
He's mysterious.
But Mario wasn't the only Nintendo franchise with heavy Buddhist references. What about the newcomer, Yokai Watch?
So the yokai are these phantoms or ghosts, or what's also called mononoke or obake.
As in like Princess Mononoke?
Yes, correct. So
Okay.
these little phantoms, ghosts that travel around.
Yeah.
And they move around. They also have supernatural powers. They're sometimes semi-transparent. They have this ghost-like appearance.
Yeah.
And they also have the ability to shapeshift. So a lot
Okay.
of the fun things about the Japanese folklore is that
Wait, do you notice that the bird just walked past? It's like, nah, it's okay.
travel
It's
around.
Yeah.
And they move around. They also have supernatural powers. They're sometimes
Wait,
semi-transparent. They
this
have
bird,
this
this
ghost-like
bird.
appearance.
Yeah.
Just walk
And they
past,
also
just
have
walk
the
past.
ability to shapeshift.
Just
So a lot
okay.
of the fun things about the Japanese folklore is that many of these figures, as we mentioned before, like the yokai or the tanuki, a lot of them are shapeshifters actually. They can turn into different things. So it
Interesting.
makes for really good elements. For
Yeah.
example.
A lot of interesting folklores in which the games took reference from. Awesome.
For gaming.
But okay, symbolism is something that Gaijin Goomba has been covering on the channel for years now. What about the arcade culture? As far as I know, Shinto and Buddhist practices don't really require smashing buttons in time with music. And while that may be true, one thing that my guide explained that they do require, though, is a concept known as meditation through motion. How much of Japan's morning routine is spent getting spiritual through some simple everyday activities and rituals?
So, obviously, we're here early in the morning and it is already super crowded. So what is kind of like early morning procedures or traditions in Japan?
So people in Japan actually wake up really early. I mean, this is, after all, the land of the rising sun, right?
Yeah, sure, of course.
So people wake up quite early in the morning. If you're a shop owner, before you open your shop, you would cleanse the entrance of your shop with
Oh, you know this, that even the Amor is like, wow, this camera is awesome. The 360 camera lah.
water.
Okay.
You would put salt on both sides. This is to keep the good energies, also to bring in good fortune to your shop.
Okay, what other things are kind of like traditional morning activities in Japan?
So almost every morning in Tokyo, if you wake up really early and you walk through the parks, you'll see that there will be a lot of people moving together in unison.
Yeah.
And you'll start to wonder what it is. And it's something called radio taiso. And this
Okay.
is a series of movements that have been around since 1928,
Yeah.
and they were meant to help people preserve a very healthy body.
Okay.
So, to keep your joints,
Yeah.
well, and to keep your body in good shape.
So, so it's like synchronized.
Yeah, it's like the synchronized movements.
Okay.
And you see people practicing this in the morning in Japan.
Yeah.
A lot of the people would be on the older side.
Okay.
Japan, it's like 25% of the population is over 65. So.
Sure. Wow.
Not sure if you noticed that all the sakuras around. I'm pretty sure this this footage was taken around springtime, so quite cool. From my experience, I've been there after springtime in the entering summer, and it's still cold. And I came from Singapore, it's everything's hot lah, so.
Oh, that much.
Yeah, that much. So you'll see them
Sounds like,
practicing it.
sounds like the level of activity I need in the morning.
Right, definitely.
Right? Something low key for the elderly and for like the online gamers of the world.
Right, to at least get those joints moving.
Yeah, of course.
Just low key get those joints to move.
We then cleansed ourselves through an incense ceremony and hand washing ceremony, both rituals necessary before entering the temple. And in the process, I participated in this meditation through motion, preparing the mind and spirit to be present in the moment through these ritualized motions. Sound familiar? It did to me.
Yes.
Meditation through motion is the same concept that you can apply to a lot of the games that we associate with Japan. When a person playing a platformer like Mario is in the zone on a speedrun, or a gamer perfects a DDR song after practicing it 1,000 times, this is meditation through motion.
Yes, and moreover, to add that to that, right, Miss, I've been to Japan, and my experience is they actually give you for tourists like me who doesn't really speak the Japanese language. Back then it was not that good. There's actually step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. For tourists to actually understand with pictures. It's like awesome. What do you do to show respect? To do it properly. Yeah. Anyways, let's continue.
Sure, it looks different than, washing your storefront or doing goofy cardio moves, but at their core, these things are actually based on the exact same principle. We had just landed in Japan and we were already onto something, but admittedly, I still had a lot to learn. Is this the Shinto shrine?
No, this is a kindergarten, actually.
No, that's a kindergarten. See?
There's a kindergarten on the way to the temple.
Yikes. After how calm and peaceful since so...
Oh my god. That's open. Is that a shrine? No, it's a kindergarten. Alright, let's continue.
It was time to move on to somewhere with a little bit more action. Kendo. My goal, practice some real-life sword skills with the masters. It's sword combat, so I figured I've seen this sort of thing in games like hundreds of times, so shouldn't be that bad. Plus, I'm a noob, so they'll go easy on me, right?
Plus, I'm a noob. They'll go easy on me, right?
Wrong. So very wrong. It became readily apparent that I was in way over my head. I feel like anything I do right now is gonna offend someone. No joke. I've of course seen kendo in different contexts in the past, like in anime and stuff, but never in person. It is intimidating to watch in person, because even though they're in armor, they're still getting smacked upside the head with bamboo sticks, which I feel has gotta be painful in some way.
That's true. What it says is that even though they have armor, they're still getting smacked in the head, so...
It's gotta be, right? Luckily for me, kendo turns out to not be a battle to the death. It's a point-based system like fencing, with super precise movements that indicate whether or not you've scored a point. You can hit the head, the side, or the wrist. And that one actually really hurts. You're wearing like the equivalent of slightly padded oven mitts. It's not doing a whole lot to protect you from that bamboo pole.
And that's the reason why lightsaber... It's like, I am your father. And cha.
Actually, there's a fourth way to score a point, which is stabbing someone in the neck, but I was not advanced enough to learn that one. Thank goodness. But in kendo, it's not just about making strikes. All your movements have to have spirit behind them, which translates to a whole lot of yelling. A whole lot of yelling. Point her, and let the record reflect that I was a total pro in all of this. Cut! Like I said, total pro. The big thing I took away.
Let us say that I'm a total pro in this. That oops. I love how he contradicts himself exactly at the point in which he made a mistake.
From all of this was just how precise everything was. To get a point, everything has to be perfect. Where you hit on the body, the side of the sword that you strike with, the way your body is facing, the energy in your voice. If even one of those things is off, then your hit doesn't count. Sensei actually said that that's a big reason why kendo isn't an Olympic sport after all these years. The precision is actually too great, making it difficult to judge. Even simple things like getting dressed and undressed was an exercise in precision, as every fold and knot that you made was steeped in a deeper meaning. And with that, it was time to leave the gym and go refill, because nothing gets me hungrier than getting beaten with bamboo sticks. So after kendo, it was off to grab...
Ooh. Ouch. Teachers. Nothing gets me hungrier than getting beaten by bamboo sticks. Ugh. Ouch.
Some food at the Zhao fish restaurant. And sure, we all think of Japan and sushi and really fresh fish, but I gotta say, I wasn't expecting it to be quite so fresh and still so interactive.
You have to catch your own fish.
Like, so this isn't a restaurant where I just pick out, say like, oh, I want that guy. I actually have to catch him.
Yes.
Yeah.
It went just about as well as you'd expect.
Why is he so surprised? I thought like, oh, because in my culture I'm so used to like, in their culture they are not so used to it. Oh, okay, understandable. It's like, why is he so surprised that you have to catch your own food?
This is terrible. This is just brutal. I'm working up an appetite, I guess. I get even closer. They're giving me all the help I need right now. I am not cut out for this. Oh, I almost had one! Oh, I got him! Oh!
You got it?
I had him! Oh.
So you should do it within 5 minutes.
Cut to 5 hours later. We're gonna super cut it so it looks like it's less than that. There we go! I got it! Yes! Oh, thank you!
Look at the fish.
See? Less than 5 minutes. Hey, buddy! Hey! Yep, that's me reacting like a bomb just went off next to my head, because when you catch a fish in this restaurant, they bang the giant taiko drum on the wall for you. It's supposed to symbolize your victory, but I'm not sure if they were celebrating me catching a fish or them no longer having to be polite to an inept American.
Oh my god, I really love his jokes.
This is very anime right now, like, hello! Oh, gee. Anyway, while we waited for the chef to prepare my humanely dispatched fish, I had a chance to talk a little bit more about fishing in Japan with my dinner host, Nanako.
Japan is a long island.
I knew that.
Rich.
Yes, okay.
When different currencies meet, it makes the very rich bed for sea creatures. And these places, and as well as the currency, make Japan rich country with fish. And I think Japan is proud of fish because we don't have any other natural resources.
I'm so sorry that even though there's subtitles, it's a bit too small. It took me a while to notice that. Oh wait, there's subtitles.
Yes, we don't have oil, no, but we have fish.
But you have fish. I didn't expect us to get much video game talk in, but the reason I kept this in the video is actually what came next, when Nanako actually started talking about how people in Japan like to spend their time.
In Japan, people feel more comfortable to communicate each other indirectly. For example, going to fish and doing the same activity at the same time, at the same place. That place or that time makes this kind of tie between people.
So it's easier to say like, hey, you drop your fishing line over here, you drop your fishing line over here.
Let's wait together.
Yeah, we're waiting together and we're bonding.
Yes, because we are doing something together.
Yeah, but independently at the same time.
Yes.
That's fascinating. Like I said, a fish restaurant isn't exactly the place you expect to find revelations about the gaming scene, and yet here we are. What she's talking about is actually a psychological phenomenon called parallel play.
Oh, so we learn something new again. It's very nice that we know that there's something called parallel play. Huh, interesting.
In development, almost everyone goes through a stage where we like doing similar things next to people without actually having to interact with them all that much. But it's not just in development, because adults do it too. You ever get together with a study group to cram for a test? You ever gone to the gym and felt the presence of a person ellipticizing next to you? Ever play video games in the same room as someone else without actually talking to them? In all of these activities, you're parallel playing. And according to Nanako, people in Japan more than any other place in the world are looking for ways to connect in parallel without having to worry about being super social with each other. Which, when you actually stop to think about it, sounds a whole lot like going to an arcade.
This is the mackerel you catched
Thank
few minutes ago.
Hey, buddy. Hey, looking a little worse for the wear. It looks delicious, though. And thus ended a packed first day. They actually let me bang the taiko drum in victory. It was awesome. As a grand finale, my filming crew made sure that I felt as awkward as possible by strapping the 360 camera literally onto my head and
As awkward as possible, literally onto your head. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
taking me on a tour through the busiest intersection in Tokyo, Shibuya Crossing, where, believe it or not, a loyal theorist from back in the States actually stopped me. Hey, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm doing well.
I watch
You do? Oh my gosh, hey! Look at that! Fan meetup in Tokyo in 360. Truly, it's a small world after all. Anyway, with that, it was time to get rest and get ready for our whirlwind tour through modern Japan, covering everything from towering arcades, insane rhythm game masters, and a restaurant full of fighting robots. So stay tuned for next time when the adventure continues in part 2 of the Global Gamers trip through Tokyo.
Wow, I really like it that it's 360. It's awesome. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you do like this video. I'm so sorry that even though it's 360, you can only view me watching this as a 2D plain view. If you do like this video, please consider to watch it on their channel, The Game Theorists. Their videos are awesome and I highly recommend them. They are incredible individuals. And yeah, and I hope that you do. If you do like my videos, please consider to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. And I'll see you next time. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. MatPat in Japan.